Yeah, hi people. How are you guys? I'm really sorry, but if it is visible, just confirm me once in the comment section whether I am audible or not, because I'll be waiting for it. And yes, today we'll be discussing more about the most trending thing after software development in the development industry. It's about full stack development, and eventually, if I could say, it's not true to say like behind software development, but software development is actually a part of a full stack development as well. So that's one of the thing. But let's bring it on and make sure like your friends who want to join us, they can also join us very soon because Praveen is just about to enter here. All right, so audience is increasing. That's great to see the numbers, but I want some more people to join us because by then I'll just introduce few things about Praveen. So Praveen is someone who worked on React at that time when it was being in a development phase in the Facebook team. So that was one of the things. And Praveen has awarded as a most valuable professional by Microsoft for 2 consecutive years. This is something really excellent, isn't it? I can see the numbers growing hard and growing fast. Let's see. Uh, all right, guys. So today, what do you expect from this webinar? It's all about. I can see some of the question which are already coming up. We'll be having some excellent answers from Praveen. So by then, like I just hold your answer for some time, and definitely Praveen will be happy to answer all of the questions. All right, I can see 94 people live. Just wait for it to go 100, maybe a bit faster. Okay, I'll try to go slow, man. Hello, everyone. So people are from, okay, hi. That's great to see. Like at GFG, we used to get an audience from other countries as well. That's really great. Thanks for your love, man. Amazing. From Iraq, there is someone. That's great, man. That's great. All right, guys. So it's now the show time, and yes, Praveen is here. I'm really happy, and I won't be taking your much time. I'll just introduce him in the stream. Hey, Praveen, how are
Hey
you, man?
everyone. Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And I've been looking at all the comments. Awesome questions. I'm just picking up a few questions and then trying to note down everything. Um, live, it's
But
not a
it's really
replay.
hard, no?
It is live. It is live. So
True,
guys, it's live
true,
really.
true.
Right. Hey
Guys,
Ayushman, how are you?
hi. I'm good. I'm good, Praveen. I'm really good. So, guys, one interesting thing I'll tell you about Praveen. So, first of all, like, it's a very thank you, Praveen. You joined us today. You know what, guys? Like, Praveen has taken especially a holiday for the day, so he can guide all of you. So, that's really good. And I hope you'll be having a great
I'm
session
a
with us.
bit unwell as well, but I'm okay. I'm
Oh,
more
all right.
excited looking at the number of people who have, like there are
True.
so many people who are, uh, like the love. So yes,
That's completely true. So Praveen, like I'll tell you one of the interesting thing. I have been taking the webinar from the past few months, but this is the first time I can see multiple people from different countries. They have joined us.
wow, that's cool.
You know what, guys? Praveen is also currently located in London, UK. Is it?
Yes, London.
All right. All right, perfect, Praveen. So let's give it a start. So already I know like many of the people know what you used to do and what you are doing right now. But still, for the few new audience which are just entered in this webinar, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself?
Definitely. Hi everyone. I'm Praveen Kumar from Chennai originally, and right now I'm in London, England. I'm a full stack JavaScript developer specializing in React JS and Node.js, and I've been working on a lot of domains. Like, for example, a lot of people were asking me what domains I work on. So I work on mostly into financial domain right now, but I have been working on education, hospitality, health and insurance services. So a lot of things I have worked on, and I saw a lot of couple of nice, awesome questions. So I'll come to that later. So apart from that, yes, I hold a master's degree in cloud computing from University of Leicester, and currently I am working with Virtusa. So Ayushman has actually put that out. So yeah, I work at Virtusa for as a full stack JavaScript developer, and yeah, and that's mainly about me in the professional way. And other than that, I'm a blogger, YouTuber. I'm in LinkedIn, very actively in LinkedIn. So any questions or queries, you can connect with me always. And I guess that's it, right? So anything else should I be saying? Yeah, MVP. I was an MVP. So if Microsoft, if you are looking at this, please give me a MVP thing. So that's the only thing I'll be asking from Microsoft. And yeah, there you go. That's it. That's me.
All right, guys. One thing that I feel like Praveen has been missed out, that is like he's actually a community builder for full stack development or full stack enthusiast, specifically the React people. So he's someone who is been working excellent in that domain. So that's about Praveen. So let's start this thing without getting any more getting any other conversation. So Praveen, when we talk about full stack and eventually the people today they are in full stack, what I personally feel is like when I am seeing the job market. So for fresher, usually earlier what was happening, like if I talk about down the line a year or 2 years back, majority of the companies they are hiring only for the software developer role. But now I can see there's a change, specifically when those unicorns, specifically in India, if I talk about like Paytm, Zomato, Hotstar, when these type of companies came to the campuses, they usually look for the profile of full stack developer. Right now, it's being in a trend. So to get an understanding to the audience, so what exactly is a work of a full stack developer? Can you help with that?
So there are two things in this. There is
Sure.
a full stack developer is always like a mix of front end developer and a back end developer. When I say front end developer and a back end developer, there is again a huge confusion right now. So who exactly is a front end developer, or what is the scope of a front end developer? And that's one thing. Then secondly, back end developer. You don't need to say anything about back end developer now, because it's like so I'm from Chennai. So what is Chennai? Chennai was just this place where it was the Chennai 001. Then it became Chennai plus single pet. Then it became Tiruvallur. Then it is expanding. It is the similar way. JavaScript as well as the front end developer. So when you say that you are a front end developer, 10 years ago when I just started my career as a front end developer, I was supposed to be knowing only HTML and CSS. Then a couple of years later, I need to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then a couple of years later, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, one of the CSS frameworks. Then it started building like that. So you need to know something called as state management. You need to know something called as single page application. Then you have something like HTTP, HTTPS requests, Ajax calls, endpoints. So it keeps on going. So currently, a front end developer means a person who knows basics of HTML, CSS, not basic, sorry. He's well versed in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, some of the frameworks. So I know jQuery and React. There are a lot of people who are asking whether jQuery is still valid to use or something like that. But yes, jQuery is good to use even now. Then we have React, one of the single page applications which is competing with Angular JS, Angular, Vue, and other things. I guess Svelte is also one of the competitor for React. So I'm not sure. So there are like multiple things, and all these things are written in JavaScript. All these languages are written in JavaScript. So if you know HTML and CSS and JavaScript, that is the basic of front end developer. Coming to the back end developer, well, I'm overwhelmed with the number of things that you can do as a backend developer. Or if a company says that I want a backend developer, and if they are giving like a crore rupees for a person, they can put any number of things. If they say that you are a backend developer and they are giving that particular role as a crore rupees, then definitely they will be expecting like more than they could expect from a huge IT company like the BCS, Gun Forces, etc. Those kind of companies. So yeah, so thinking about those things, uh, for a decent full stack developer, a developer should know something. The base stuff at the base, they should know about the front end web development, then the back-end web development or back-end software development, then they should know something about the databases, and then finally they should know how to integrate all these things along with deployment, continuous integration and continuous delivery, version control systems, and I guess it goes on. For today, I'm going to say these are the things that are expected out of a full stack developer. And as a full stack developer, these are the things are what I am doing right now.
All right, that's perfect actually, guys. You can see like when we have someone from an experienced background, that's the difference between the answer. If let's say someone is asking from me like what is that, I'll simply say someone who is working on a front end and on a back end. So that is full stack developer. All right, guys, that's perfect. All right, Praveen. So now moving over to the next part of it. So when we talk about like already, I can see one of the interesting question that is like why do people prefer React?
Versus Angular, Vue, and others.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have got a lot of different things. There are like so many reasons I can say for why React is good and why
Mhm.
not others. Not exactly why
Sure.
not others, but the base thing. Why did Facebook build React? React is
Mhm.
not an MVC framework. So there are like different types of frameworks that are available. So for example, there is something called as MVC framework, Model View Controller framework. Then there is MVVM frameworks, Model View Model framework. Then there are like MV Star frameworks. So these things are there. So
Right.
React is definitely not an MVC framework or MVVM framework, which I thought it was, but actually it is a view only framework. That is a funny thing. And moreover,
Okay.
React is not a framework. React is a library. More than a framework, it is a library. So library in the sense it can be used anywhere without any kind of restrictions. That is one of the core things why React is
Why? All
really good.
right.
And React doesn't use any templates. So nowadays when you see Angular, when you see Vue, all these things are almost started as a templating engine, then they became like a full-fledged framework. I mean, this is in my opinion, it could be wrong, but this is what I thought. But React definitely is not a templating engine. So this is one of the things. And finally, the learning curve of React versus Angular versus Vue, again, in my personal opinion, React is extremely easy to learn. I tried learning Angular JS, the Angular 1.0, Angular 2, React, Vue. I thought React is dead simple and it is easy to understand and it is easy to implement and run an application without for a lot of hassle. This is my personal opinion.
All right.
People can challenge me on that. I'm happy
Hmm.
to be challenged.
So guys, if someone feel like Angular is a bit easier, you can definitely catch Praveen, and Praveen will be happy to answer you, or maybe have
I'm
a sort
just
of a
here in
discussion on it.
LinkedIn. You can just send me a quick request. Tell me you're wrong. Angular is better. Try to convince me. If you are able to convince me, then great. I'll go into an Angular role.
So guys, on our channel, on a live stream, I have seen first time like a person is just ready to change his domain. That's because how much knowledge he is having in that. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. So
But
guys, for this,
Ayushman, they need to give a
uh
strong case to convince me that Angular is better, and I should be convinced. It's something like a big boss house, right? You need to convince to get yourself evicted.
all right. So I hope like Praveen, you are the fan of Big Boss because right now it's being streaming in India.
Not
All
me,
right.
but yeah, I mean, I don't think it is much popular in Tamil. I'm not sure, but yeah.
All right. That's okay. All right. Let's focus back towards our mainstream topic that we were
So
holding
before
on.
going further, Ayushman, I have got a couple of questions which are really awesome. So I
All
saw
right.
that do front end engineers have to be good at data structures? That is one question. And is
Mhm.
LAMP stack still good to learn? And why React? Why not Angular and Vue? Why
All
MERN
right.
stack? Why not Mean stack and MERN stack? These are the three questions which interested me a lot. So I just gave you a quick heads up on that.
All right. Please go ahead, Praveen. Yeah, you can
Shall I?
definitely answer those questions. Yeah.
All
Please
right.
go ahead.
So, um, starting with, do front end engineers have to be good at data structures. This has been like, making me wonder a lot of things, because as a full stack developer, or as me, I've got around 12 years of work experience. I've been in the industry, financial industry and other industries that I mentioned earlier. Folks, who, if you are wondering, I don't know whether my professor is watching this. I did not pass on data structures and algorithms in my first attempt. In my Actually, I passed it, but it is with the base mark. So 36 marks. It's not a good decent mark, right? 36% is not a good percentage. And I was never good with data structures and algorithms during my university days or college days. And I don't think that makes a huge difference, but there is a huge thing in data structures and algorithms, the way you solve things. And one more thing, until today I don't even know what exactly, I mean, like, not until today, so until previously to that game company I worked, I didn't know what exactly the performance measures mean. For example, this big O notation, the small O notation, and those kind of things. So they all come under data structures, the time complexity and those kind of things. I haven't taken much care until last year. And until last year, I have been in a good, highly paying job, a full stack developer, and I've been working on different single page applications, banking and financial services, etc. But never in my life until last year I had to use anything related to the performance area, until I came to this game company where I had to look into the performance aspect of my work and code. At that point of time, maybe data structures might have helped me a bit, but always Google is my friend. Google is your friend. You can quickly look into, okay, this is the code I have got. I know what I'm doing. So this is what I need to do. So I just need to tell, or I need to be confirmed, like, I need to confirm with others that whether this particular way of writing the code is faster, performant, etc. What is the performance implications? And that's the only reason I wanted to know data structures during my game company period. And because it was extremely, we were working with data, and per second we had to hit one, I guess, 1 lakh data per second, something like that. So the performance was extremely important. And also with my previous experience, I don't see, I mean, personally, I didn't see data structures to be like a huge barrier for
Sure.
front end developers, or sometimes to the full stack developers. This is my
All right.
humble
Praveen,
opinion.
a small point I just want to raise over here. So usually what I have seen specifically, I'm just talking about the freshers, or let's say the people who have just entering into the corporate world. So
Got
guys,
it.
what happened for a fresher, like the Praveen, what Praveen is saying, it's absolutely true. Like
Experience.
usually a experienced guy or a person who is currently working with a full stack developer as a front end part specifically, they don't need any sort of very lean or some significant skills on data structures and algorithm. But for a freshers, like if you're not very good, either you should be someone who is having a GitHub project with more than 1,000 upvotes, or like what they used to have. So either you are of such type of a level person. If you're not of that kind of a person, so at that point you specifically need a little bit, no, not even a little bit, a handful of data structures as well. You'll be needing at that time for your interview. So that was just an add up. You can carry up. Praveen.
Superb. So that is one thing, and I guess that's about the data structure part. And obviously, Ayushman, you what you said is also right. And
Yeah.
with respect to the new companies, and not only that,
Hmm.
even if I'm 10 years experience, if I go for
Hmm.
interviews in Facebook or Amazon, they are
Exactly.
asking for data structure. So that's there is no
Yeah.
there's no way of escaping data structures from that point of time.
See, we usually, I used to say this thing to all the people because I have met a person who was having around 18 years of work experience, and when he applied for an Amazon, so he told me this thing, like when he came to us to learn the data structures and algorithm, he told me like, I out of my curiosity, I just asked him, so you are having so much of experience, like an 18 years of work experience, why you are learning data structures? So he said, Ayushman, if you are trying for a fan company, so you can say like the gate pass is data structures and algorithm. So that's the importance of data structure
Agreed.
algorithm in fact.
I tried
Yeah,
FANG companies again, like after coming to London a year ago, and every
sure.
single company I tried with Facebook, I tried with Amazon, I tried with I didn't try with Microsoft yet. I tried with Google. So all
Mhm.
the first rounds were around data structures, and they were extremely hard for me. Like I thought, okay, I'll give up in the first two rounds. That's it. So a lot of people were also asking
Sure.
me, why don't you try going into Facebook or Amazon with your, I mean, Facebook or Google for your current situation or scenario. I had a hard time explaining them that I'm not good with data structure, so I can't. They
All
they
right.
don't they don't believe it.
All right. All right, Praveen. Yep. So the second question that you were referring, if you could remember, like I just forgot that part.
React versus Angular versus Vue, etc. So
Sure.
yeah, that is the second question I was referring to. So with respect to React versus Angular JS versus Vue or any other framework for that instance, React is completely different from each and every what do you call this? Every language. React is completely different because any of these languages use something like a model view model or model view controller or some kind of an MV architecture. And one more thing is, most of the other frameworks are working with the DOM API. Nowadays they are switching to virtual DOM. So React basically gives the developers the ability to work with the virtual DOM or the virtual browser that is more friendlier than the real browser. And React's virtual browser acts as a agent between the developer and the real browser, which kind of, like, in my opinion, it is a good way. Then another thing which I would say is, um, React is just a JavaScript. It's very small API is there for learning, and there are like very few functions on how to use them. And after that, your JavaScript skills are what will make you a better React developer. There are no barriers to entry. A developer can become productive React developer within few hours. The good part about being a React developer is, if you know JavaScript not in and out, if you know decent level of JavaScript, you can easily pick up React. That is something which I really like about React. And React is a JavaScript library, it's not a framework. And also, it is not a complete solution, and we'll often need to use more libraries. Like, for example, for state management, we could use something called Redux. Things are coming inside React. For example, context API is React's own state management. For Ajax calls, I personally use Axios and Fetch. Nowadays, I'm not using Fetch, not a fan of Fetch, because Axios is typically Fetch given to you in a lazy way. And there is our very own React router by React Training Company. And React, for routing in React, there are multiple choices. React has not given a basic routing in its own core. So this not only make puts React in a bad place, but at the same time, I would see it as a positive thing. If you take Angular, you have to take the $HTTP dependency kind of a thing, and you don't have any other choices. Let's say I don't like React router, I can immediately switch to something like Nuxt or anything. So there are like multiple options available for me. I don't need to stick with one thing. So that disability or whatever that put React in a bad place now is actually the right. That is the only reason I am with React. So it is that good. And
All
since
right.
web browsers, sorry.
No, no, no. I'm just continuing here.
Yeah. So since web browsers are all like they work with JavaScript, we can use React itself to describe the web interfaces. The reason being, like, React compiles into normal JavaScript and the small simple assets. And when you see the compressed version, the compressed minified deployment version of all React, Vue, Angular, and Angular JS, React seems to be the smallest of all. I guess I tried it with a couple of pages, and my benchmarks showed that React is the smallest of everything. It doesn't make a huge difference if you are building a big app, but even 1 KB matters a lot when it is being served by millions of users, right? So these are a few points I would say for this question.
All right, perfect. So, Praveen, I can see a most common question that has been asked with the people, that is like how to be a full stack developer. Like, What do you
The
feel
roadmap.
one can? Yeah, exactly. The roadmap, we can say.
So there are these two questions which I wanted to answer before, and then I'm gonna
Mhm.
go for the roadmap. Okay.
All right.
So some people were asking, is LAMP still good to learn? It completely depends on you. The reason is why I'm telling you this is I loved PHP a lot. Even now, I love PHP, and PHP is also releasing their next version, PHP 8 at the moment. And if I say that I'm a PHP developer, people will start putting stones on me. That is a different thing. Okay, so
Mm.
I'm a huge fan of this guy who wrote the Anuanti book, and he actually said one thing. I don't know Hindi, but Ayushman, please help me with it. Log kya kahenge, right?
Mhm.
What does
Yep.
that
Yep.
is what it means, right? What the world say. So
Exactly.
what he said is really true. Whatever the world say, just go follow your instincts and whatever. See, at the end, you should be happy as a person, and I
Exactly.
love to work with this one, so I'm going to go with this one. So at the same time, even if people all say like, yeah, don't learn PHP, that is not worth anymore. I had a close friend of mine who used to
Mhm.
say like, PHP is a dying language. Why should I even learn it? Like she gave me the complete negative aspect, but I, okay, yeah, fine, it is her, like her
Personal
opinion,
perspective. Yeah.
her
Exactly. Your
perspective,
personal
that's it.
perspective.
And I thought, okay, let me go on. I don't want to stop loving this awesome piece of small application for
Sure.
everyone saying that. And not only that, uh, each language has its own benefits and problems. Yes, PHP has like 100 problems, but there are 10 things that are awesome in PHP. Why can't the 10 things are not there in the top one language, which is Python, top second
Mhm.
language, which is JavaScript? Okay, so this is what made me think like, why don't I try to take some good things from PHP and put it in JavaScript? Simple.
Got
So
it.
this way you will, it's like multilingual thing. For example, I know four different languages: Tamil, Telugu, English, and
Mhm.
French. And each and every language, the way of thought is different for me. So knowing more
Got it.
than one language, let it be a programming language or let it be a spoken language, it is going to help you only. It's not a big deal. In case if
Exactly.
you don't have time, don't learn it. But if you have the what do you call this, the eagerness, or
The time and exactly
yeah, time is there, time
in
needs to
and
be
interest. And basically, I can
if
say
you
the
have
interest.
the
Yeah.
interest, go for it. Don't
Exactly.
stop for anything. See, I had the interest to learn Python, but after a
Mhm.
couple of attempts, I was not able to understand Python. Even now, I couldn't understand Python, so I just left it.
Okay.
Even though it is the top one language, I started going with JavaScript. But yeah,
All
so
right.
PHP or other language, it is completely with your own, like your own interests. So if you are
Mhm.
interested, please don't leave it, learn it. But time management is in your hands. And the final question before going to roadmap is Java or JavaScript. Um, I could get a slap from Ayushman if I answer brutally. So I'm gonna take a side and answer for myself. Personally, I hate Java from the day
Mhm.
one. So even if you give me a crore rupees, I'm not gonna work on Java. That is me. So, but the thing is, if you see the trends right now, Java is still there. See, Java, no, not new projects are not based on Java right now, but there are like
True.
so many dependencies on Java. So if you are in working in a financial situation or financial services, almost all the applications, banking applications, are written in Java. Even we are struggling with that.
Agreed.
We are trying to move everything to JavaScript, but this is not going to complete in next 100 years. So if you like Java, go for it. 100%, no doubts. It is going to give you food and all, but personally, I hate Java. That's it.
All right. See, Praveen, from your conversation, like one thing I can get, and eventually this is actually not across if it's a full stack, even if it's a data structures or a placement preparation webinar. This questions remains almost same at every point of time. Like which language should I start? What language should I prefer? So, guys, language is just a medium to communicate with the computer. So focus on any one of them, start with one of
Exactly.
them, and if you feel like you're getting an interest and you want to learn other languages, go for it. So that's
And
the motive. Yeah, please.
and some geniuses will say that you just need to learn one language and the syntax is different. I need to really punch them, but to an extent I would agree with them. So if you know one
Mhm.
language thoroughly, and if you say that you need to switch to Java or Python or C++ or C, there will be a syntactic breakdown for you. So you might need to like learn the syntax. Ultimately, for loop is for loop, while loop is while
Exactly.
loop, if condition is if condition, switch case is switch case. Everything is
Yeah.
same in all the languages, only the syntax differs mostly.
Mhm. Correct. Correct. All right, Praveen. Now let's move up to
Go
the
to the main
roadmap.
thing,
Basically,
the roadmap
yeah.
of
Exactly.
with respect to roadmap for becoming a full stack developer, what I generally suggest people to do is there are like so many like there is an open source community that actually created a developer roadmap. I don't know whether I can say that, but I'll tell the contents of it. So for a
Mhm.
front end, so for a full stack developer, as I said, you need to be both front end as well as full back end developer. Okay, so let's start with front end developer. First thing that you need to know is basics of internet, which has like how internet works, what is HTTP, what are browsers, how do they work, what is a DNS, how it works, what is a domain name, what is hosting. I saw some people were asking about what is a virtual host. Am I right? There were some people were saying like something related to virtual hosting and other things. So those kind
Exactly.
of things, and then you get into the front end stuff like HTML, learning the basics, write the semantic HTML, that is more important. Then forms, validations. Then there are a lot of conventions and best practices available in the HTML part. So you cannot use double, you cannot put a heading inside a paragraph, you cannot use a
Sure.
paragraph inside a paragraph, those kind of things. Then there is slightly advanced topics like accessibility, where if there are people who are visually impaired or hearing impaired, if they want to uh, access the website, they should be able to access the website. So that is something very important. So that is accessibility, and in the UK we follow something called as AAA accessibility, which is the most strictest accessibility. Bank application, right? Obviously
Okay.
everyone should have the uh, everyone should be able to
Sure.
access it. And
Sure.
government actually imposes these rules for websites who are serving the UK clients or UK people. So that is one of the major requirements here. Then SEO, if you want your if you put Praveen Kumar Purushothaman in Google, obviously my name comes first. So that is something is called a search engine optimization, and that is something very much important for any companies, or if you go for a brand or something like that. See, if you just put like how to calculate the Fibonacci series, you can see Geeks for Geeks article coming first, right? That
Exactly.
exactly is SEO. And this is the basics of HTML part. Then you go with CSS, the what do you call in CSS, the basics, the layouts. In the layouts there are these three things: display, floats, and positioning. You have something called as box model, you need to understand box model. And finally some advanced techniques like CSS grid and flexbox, which you can learn by playing a game. Now and the once you do all these things, the trending thing is the responsive design and mobile view. A lot of people write code once and they can use their mobile or the screen or the iPad, anything, and then they will be able to see the same website in different ways with the same content given in the right way. Like for each device it gets adapted. So there is like adaptive website and as well responsive website. So learn both of this. Once you are done with the HTML and CSS, this was like 2010, you are a front end developer. Coming to 2011 front end developer, start with JavaScript. What exactly is the syntax, basic things, the DOM manipulation, then going slightly advanced Ajax calls. Then you have the latest version of JavaScript, which is called ES6 and ES Next. So ES6, ESN, ES7, ES 2019, ES 2020, ES Next is the latest version of JavaScript. This is something is very, 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 very important. Hey, and by the way, if you know, Ayushman, shall we say about that? I'm actually teaching all these things.
Yeah, exactly, guys. So I was just about to come up Sorry, guys. Sorry for the interruption. All right. So, guys, you know what? Like Praveen is actually, we are really privileged to have Praveen as one of our mentor at our courses. So I'll just quickly share my screen, and I'll not take much time over there because Praveen is here and he'll be explaining you all those details. Perfect. I hope Praveen, my screen is visible now.
Yes, it is.
All right. Perfect. So, guys, the full stack developer with React and Node. So, Praveen is taking this course, and he's the mentor of this course itself. And right now, you can see like there are the Geek Week. It's going the annual event of Geeks for Geeks. You can see the discounts and all those things they are given over here. So I'll not go much into it. This is the weekend course, Saturday and Sunday, 3 hours each day, and Praveen will be taking all the lectures of this course. So Praveen, can you just help the audience like what exactly is the prerequisite that we'll be requiring for that particular course if someone is looking for it?
Generally, the whole course is based on the basics of stuff. So if you know the basics of HTML and CSS and basics of programming, that will be helpful. You'll be learning more about Git, version control system, the front end, HTML and CSS, whatever I have covered so far, JavaScript basics, ES6 basics, what are all the different things that that JavaScript has. Then we will get into the awesome part of React, and inside React we will start with the components, the logic, then we have states and props, and yeah, the whole course is there. You can just have a quick look at that.
All
So
right.
we'll be covering the whole content of React, and then post which we will be looking into Node.js, how we will create a basic Node.js, what exactly is this Node.js thing, how to create a basic API server, and we have we will also do a quick mini project for Geeks as well. So that is going to be awesome. So we will be doing with something very basic stuff, and it's a nice project. It's a full stack project, and we will be working on that. And then finally, we'll do this we'll do this continuous integration and continuous delivery, and we will be deploying our website or the web application online for everyone to use. So this is the complete structure of the course. With respect to Node.js in detail, just go ahead and look into it. So Node.js, REST APIs, will be covering those kind of things. And apart from that, yeah, I'll ask Ayushman to continue about the course.
Sure. Thank you so much, Praveen. So, guys, this is actually the course that we'll be looking up, and Praveen is eventually the mentor of this course itself. So, if you have any such queries, like I'm just sharing one of the form in the comment section on YouTube, and eventually you can see those like the form link in the YouTube description as well. If you have some queries regarding that particular course, so definitely you can fill that form, and our team will reach back to you and they'll help you with the details. All right. Thank you so much for this, Praveen. All right. So the next question that I'm having is, Praveen, like, what do you feel like? What is the importance of projects in full stack development, or let's say in the front end role?
Let it be anything. Let it be any role.
Sure.
So nowadays, I have this toxic feeling that India is moving towards certificates, Indian students especially. So
Yeah, exactly.
I've been doing a lot of live webinars in my YouTube channel, and literally every single student, mostly for the students, and all these live webinars are free. That's taking a small concept, explaining it. Today I learned something awesome, and this is what I wanted to share this. So it doesn't like conflict with any of my work or any of my courses that I'm taking. So you are free, just feel free to like look at my YouTube channel. Okay. Before that, so whenever I meet a student and I say that, hey, tomorrow there is a webinar on this, and even for Geeks, even for this webinar, I said, one of my friend was asking, Praveen, that's awesome. Okay, will I get a certificate for seeing this thing? Dude, seriously? I was like, I don't know what to say after this. So that is, I don't know what you guys are using that certificate for. Is it worth any money or anything? I'm not sure. Because I did another webinar, which is like kind of like a three part series where I was able to teach people on how to build their own portfolio. Okay, so
All right.
what happened is, I said there is, I mean, like, I'm just a single person working on in a company. I can't give any certificates, but if you need a certificate, I can take up Photoshop and copy some things and then give it to you. That doesn't take cost me anything, or it doesn't kill me, so I can do that. But I don't see a reason why people are using it. But there were two people, okay, two students. One student took the certificate from me. I don't know what he did. The other student
Mhm.
took the knowledge from the session. He built his own like the
Design of the
website
certificate.
and a
Yeah.
portfolio. Exactly, he built his own portfolio. And I was like, looking at the portfolio, it was, I mean, one of the students, it was like really excellent. Whatever I taught, more than that, he went ahead above and beyond to learn from other YouTubers or other resources online, tried to implement some more nice creative content. What I just did was, I just commented on his LinkedIn post, whatever he showed. So there is this guy, he posted that certificate on LinkedIn or somewhere. I said, okay, congrats, bro, and stuff like that. This guy, the one who posted the website, the screenshot of the website, I said, okay, this is really awesome, and I gave my feedback. And to that, he, in that post, he also said how he built. So he saw my webinar. That's the webinar link to the YouTube
Mhm.
video which I did. Then he also posted like what all resources he go went ahead. And then the real thing that actually caught an attention is, he also approached the way he approached the problem. So there is a problem, he needs a portfolio that should be looked upon by a lot of people. Number one, that is the number one problem. Number two is, he needs to get a job. Okay, these are the two problems he's trying to solve with this current scenario. He doesn't need a certificate. So what he did is, he created a portfolio. For that, he wanted some knowledge. He came to me and looked at my YouTube video, the live stream. He learned it. He asked a couple of questions. I explained during the live presentation. And once that is done, he created the practical implication of what he did. So he saw, he learned, and then he made something out of his own efforts. And then after this, marketing, obviously. So
Yeah.
he put whatever he did on LinkedIn. And not only that, the next part is sharing your knowledge. That's what I'm doing. I'm more into like sharing my knowledge with others, with the world, etc. So
That's really amazing, man. That is really amazing.
he did
Guys,
that.
sorry,
He
sorry, Praveen, just
sorry,
to
just
intervene. Yeah. Okay, just a minute. Like, I get an idea over here. So all the fresher or the people who are looking up for this full stack role, or like who are targeting over here. So I think that could be a best fit project for you. Just make a portfolio of yours and host it on any of the free portals. There are multiple of them. And if you are doing that in this webinar, I'm straightforward announcing here. You can tag Praveen or me. Either you can send us on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is the best thing. And definitely, if you are working on it and if you are making that project, so I'll certainly do something from my part from Geeks for Geeks side. Definitely, we'll arrange a reward from Geeks for Geeks. That's one of the
and
announcement I'm
one
doing
thing
from here.
which I wanted to finish
Sure.
about the story was, he gave the main crux of it as he explained how he approached the problem and how he solved. He wrote a blog post. He showed the portfolio. Um, it's been a week since he got a job, and it's a high paying job as well. He got a job
That's
through
fantastic,
LinkedIn.
man.
That's exactly the
That's
main thing which
fantastic.
I wanted to highlight here.
Sure. That's really amazing because see, if you are doing something and you are putting up your lot of effort and whatever, specifically the things that you are learning, so these things will actually help you out when you are appearing for an interview. That's perfectly fine. So one of the student is asking about the backend. So please wait, like in the coming sequence. Like I hope not. I'm not very much sure tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We are having a backend webinar as well, so you can attend that webinar. It will be a great part for you. All right. So I hope guys you get this thing. All right, Praveen. I can see there is one question about progressive web apps. Can you answer that
AWS.
question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Progressive web apps are like similar to what React does in one way as well. So with React, you can also do progressive web apps. So what they do is, generally they store all the things that are required for your web application, and on the browser the first time when you open it, and you do not require internet to look into it again. So most of the web applications that you use, like linkedin.com, facebook.com, um, what else, whatsapp, web.whatsapp.com, those kind of things are all progressive web applications. So without internet they will work to an extent, like the
Sure.
offline version. So that exactly is called progressive web application. And moreover, there is also something like service hooks, sorry, what do you call them, service workers. So they
Mhm.
kind of like tap into the network layer of your browser to tell that, okay, if you are going to this part, serve this thing, something like that. So that happens offline. So this is something called as progressive web app. So it is mainly about offline web applications.
Perfect, perfect, Praveen. Guys, just a small check. Like I can see few of the comment about the courses. So first of all, like the people who are commenting about on the cost part. So right now, guys, the course is at their best price. 11,000 is the displayed price, but 1,500 is an instant discount and 1,500 casual with some more benefit from our partners for this event. And definitely, guys, see, we are not suggesting anyone like you should go and purchase this course. If you want to learn directly from Praveen, that's what we are preferring, nothing else. Nothing is specific, like you just need to go and purchase this course. So basically Praveen will be teaching live, so if he's teaching live, he's a professional. So there is some commercial that need to be involved over there. That's the only point. All right, Praveen, sorry for the intervene. All right, so Praveen, one of the question that is actually usually when we organize any on the webinar on Geeks for Geeks, always people are looking up for the job motive behind doing something. So basically people are asking about, do we have what you can tell them about the scenario of the job market for specifically the full-time role.
Currently, a lot of companies are seeking for full stack developers,
For
and
development.
there is a huge rise and trend in React.js developers as well. If you're going
Sure.
for a pure front end developer or something like that, but a front end developer, more than a front end developer, a full stack developer is always considered. And then once you get into the company, you will be either a front end developer for some time or a full back end developer for some time. You will not exactly be a full stack developer the whole time. So that is always there. So if you know both the front end and back end, it is easy for you to crack interviews. And moreover, more than cracking an interview, Ayushman, can you share your screen with my website? So look at my website and have a look at, if a company or any recruiters come in to come for me to like interview me, I'll say that this is my website, and uh, would you like to
Just
take
give me a
me in?
moment. Yeah.
So it's praveen.science, IENC, yep. So a recruiter is trying to ask, why would you be a good full stack developer? So see, this is my website. This is something which I created on my own, and I
Guys,
wrote every single line of code and etc. I know it's getting, looks like we are streaming and everything is a bit slow. It's all right.
that's
Let
right.
it
That's right.
load. It's just because of the streaming people, so not
True.
anything else. And the rains. Let's blame the rains. Okay. Yeah. So whenever a company or
All
any
right.
recruit comes, I'm just gonna show my portfolio, and that
True.
alone will, like, whatever you do personally, like you do professionally, that speaks a lot more than whatever certificates that you have or something like that. That is what I was trying to say. So yeah, that is something which I was saying. And as a student, even if you are in your first years or second years or third years, you can definitely go ahead and try something and put, even if it is a hello world application, keep flaunting, tell the whole world through LinkedIn or anything. See, most of the recruitments nowadays happen through LinkedIn. Whatever job I land in for the past 4 years, it's been four companies, and each and every company I did not go towards them, like I did not approach them, but they approached me. So that is where you have to keep your position in. It's completely a competitive world, and more than being a competitive programmer, you have to be like a competitive candidate. So make the companies come and approach you, not you go approach the companies. That is what I would say. And that is what happened even in UK, when I'm an immigrant and I require a visa, blah blah. More than
Mhm.
those things, I showed what I'm able to do, and that is something that as a student you have to achieve. It doesn't matter if you are in your first years or if you are studying, even if you are in the school. Nowadays school students are talking about creating communities and creating impact.
Exactly.
What are you doing? What am I doing? What I was doing like last 10 years ago, I was like nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. That's pretty much awesome. So Praveen, just you mentioned like there is no need like if you are in a first year or in a second year. So eventually, I'm just answering one of the question. So one of the student asked me like I am in a mechanical engineering. One of the student mentioned I am in an electrical engineering. So guys, see, the best part about coding is like they don't look up your background. If you are good enough in that particular thing, as already Praveen mentioned, like eventually you can understand. I can tell you one of the scenario because nowadays Google eventually lifted the degree barrier as well. Like if you are a 12th passer or even I'm not sure about the 12th, but if you are not a bachelor, you don't have a bachelor degree, then eventually also you can apply for their role. So in coming days, the only difference is if you're learning coding, that's more than enough. You don't need anything else. So that's the case. And secondly, Praveen, one of the question is about the job market again. So I'm working in a service-based company. I don't get any development project. Should I hone my React.js skills?
Mm, so what exactly right now he is working on? So that depends on, and also it depends on their ability to take a risk and stuff like that. So there are like multiple things that you can do. First thing, start with the company. See, even I had my issues when I joined my company here, and I was able to finally sort out what is the best thing for me and all those things. So talk to your manager first. Ask if, see, this is me. I have these skills, and more, it's not that whatever you are giving me I can't do, but I will be able to do much better if you are able to give me something on this part where I'm more interested to do, as well as I have some experience on it. So interest and experience, if it joins together, definitely you'll be getting a good output, right? As an employee, I want to give the best out of me. So as an employer, you would like to take the best out of me. So you can convince your manager or the leadership person or someone who is higher, who is able to have a hold on those things, and ask for a project or ask for some other ways, like if there are something like greenfield projects or something like that. So you can try approaching that. Secondly, if you have time, definitely there is no reason to not learn something new. So go ahead, learn something new. I generally say
Perfect.
that a day when I'm not learning something, it's a day I did not live. So as simple as that. If you find time, other than if you have, after all your personal time, personal studies, obviously your health comes first, your family comes
Exactly.
second. Health, family, correct, only I'm saying. Then comes the professional life. So after all these
Sure.
things, if you have time, go for it, learn something new.
That's perfect. That's really perfect answer. Guys, just give it a like because Praveen is spending his time on those things, and I hope you'll getting some more response from the same from our side as well. Praveen, one more question I'm having like, can we compare the job market of front end role versus back end role?
It is a bit of a mix at the moment. So a lot of people see, if you ask me, front end full stack roles, a lot of trends are like, skyrocketing for the full stack role. See, literally a company, as an employer, they are giving you money, they want to get the best out of you. If you are a full stack developer versus a front end developer versus a back end developer, you are like a, sandwich of everything for the same rate. The company needs to buy you, right? The company needs to give you like 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees to get your services for the year or something like that for the term. So when this company is paying you 1 lakh, you are able to demonstrate full stack, front end, back end. Obviously the company would like you to be a full stack developer because they can get more amount of work from you, right? Thinking in that perspective, always full stack developer has a good chance. There is also another thing. What is the competition like? A lot of full stack developers are not right now available right now. So if you are, like, for example, let's take a crazy language. Something that recently started, golang. Golang is also pretty old, but let's talk about golang. That is by Google. How many people know golang here, like know in and out of golang here? Not many, right? 10 people out of 500 people watching here. So the demand for golang is very high in that case. So it's the same thing with full stack developers. More than a full stack developer, you will be like a complete stack developer in terms of full stack. Like for example, you will be able to configure the container system, etc., and the whole like deployment, like complete architecture you will be learning. In case if you are a full stack developer, you will be knowing all those things. A company would expect you to like a company would expect a person to have the knowledge of those things, rather than picking up a front end developer or a back end developer or like something like that. So that is something which I would say.
Perfect. That's very great answer, I think I can say. So, guys, again, the same question I can see in the comment section. Someone who is working on the back end, they are asking, should I learn front end? So, if you feel like if you need a growth in your career, so it's important. It's equally important. Praveen, I think I have got a one interesting question for you, and you are a perfect fit for that question as well. So, Anam is asking, is freelancing a good field as a full stack developer?
So first thing is, I don't think you understand what freelancing means. So it is all about time management. Again, you are working under someone, as simple as that. Freelancing, I would encourage everyone to do freelancing, but unless and until if you are already employed by a company, make sure you are
Sure.
fulfilling their duties before you get into another like paid gig or something like that. For example, if I'm doing something extra out of my work with another company or something like that, I need to make sure I'm doing really well in my original company where I'm hired for, and stuff like that. So that is the expectation that you need to take care of. And if you are taking care of it, and if the company doesn't have any problem that you are doing a freelancing thing, then yes, go ahead. No one is stopping you. And for people who are not employed, who wants to go as a freelancer full time, just make sure that whatever the company, like for example, I'm employed by a company, whatever they are doing, like catching the clients, catching getting the clients for you, making them pay your salaries, etc., all those things, all those responsibilities will come to your plate. So just be prepared for doing those extra work as well. As simple as that. So you need to do marketing, you need to do agreement signing, you need to do client catching. All these things you need to do. Just bear in mind in that form. And again, when a company like Microsoft comes and like bids on a project versus a person, some nameless person comes and bids, obviously the even though you are like 10 times cheaper, obviously
Mhm.
the bid goes to Microsoft or bigger company. Name matters
Yeah,
a lot as well.
exactly. The brand value is there. Always it's there.
So these are a few things that you need to think about when you want to enter freelancing. But definitely freelancing is a good way. I mean, it's not about like freelancing
Mhm.
means what is wrong in freelancing, what is bad in freelancing. Like you are showcasing you are demonstrating your skills and you are taking your money. That's it. It's as good as me going to a workplace and getting money. As simple as that. Both are same.
All right. Perfect.
I don't see a
Perfect.
difference. Yeah.
All right. Praveen, one more question in the same segment. That is like one of the student is asking about, can someone from India sitting in India can apply for a job outside India, specifically for the React or a full stack developer role?
A lot of companies right now are hiring for remote roles. I was telling about that guy, right, who posted his CV and sorry, he posted his portfolio and the approach he took. He got an awesome role. Like I guess it's paying him around like a lakh per week or around that. Maybe post taxes will be like a bit lesser. Maybe 75% could also be the uh,
Wait.
gross net he will be getting. Yeah, so that's a huge money for a fresher or for someone who is showing extraordinary creative skills. So a lot of companies now are in the remote area, thanks to pandemic, but at the same time, no thanks. So the situation is like that right now. So don't worry about where you are located. Just look at remote roles. Let it be if you are a freelancing person, or let it be if you want to go for a full time role. So freelancing you can do full time, which obviously becomes a full time. And there is not a definite like a definite definition for a freelancing role. So everything is, you can see it as a freelancing, or everything you can see it as a full-time role.
Perfect, perfect. So, guys, a few questions we have already discussed, because I can see like there are multiple questions coming in a repeated manner. Roadmap we have discussed. Applying for an international companies we have discussed, and someone is asking about the React. So we have discussed about that thing. All right. So few of the questions again I can see, like, guys, we have already discussed about the DSA and importance of DSA in full stack and all those things. You can just get rewind the webinar and you can watch over it. All right. Praveen, I request like you can also take few of the questions from the comments.
So it's been extreme.
Mhm.
What are the good platforms to search for remote roles? I guess Stack Overflow is one of the better platforms. Stackoverflow.com/jobs have got like loads and loads of things. LinkedIn, boss. LinkedIn is one of the best platform to search for roles. I mean, not exactly remote roles, but depends. Like, you know, yeah. Anything else? Project ideas. Okay. So this is something which I wanted to tell everyone. Hacktoberfest is going on, and I'm actually building a repository of project ideas, which you can find out in my repository, in my GitHub repository. And new ideas are welcome. There are a lot awesome ideas available right now. So if you are looking for something new idea, that a fresher or someone new who wants to take it up, there are like so much. It's like an idea bank. Go ahead, check it out. So it's in
All
my
right.
one of my pinned repositories in my GitHub profile.
Perfect. Guys, with the same reference like Praveen mentioned, so in Hack October, like GFG's official campus clubs, they are doing a project over there and they are running one of their projects. So that's on, again, related to full stack development. So you can check it out, the project. I'll just ask the team, they can add up the link in the description. You can look around it as well. All right. Where is there? I think like there are multiple repeated questions. What do you say?
A lot. What is the good database to learn? What is the good programming language to learn? What is the future of this programming language? A lot of things are there right now. Yeah. So um, some people say JavaScript is the future, and others say web is dead and it is becoming easy to develop. What is your take on this? I haven't heard anyone saying that way, to be honest. That is my take on that.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand, because Java is still something that is very much close to your heart as well.
I mean, it's not about being partial, but even if someone says Java is dead or something like that, sorry to hurt you, but I can kind of accept, because I can clearly see the way the industry is evolving, and it is kind of like moving away from the Java world. But definitely, Java has a good future for the next 20 years at least. So I will be very calm in that.
All right, that's perfect. So Praveen, I hope like we have just hit it up the timing, and I hope like you might be having some work. So before saying a goodbye, because there are people, they love you a lot. So can you help them like how they can reach you back after this webinar, or maybe if they're having some questions?
So two ways you can reach me. So praveen.science is my website. You can stalk me in all the platforms wherever you want to, you are comfortable with. And the easiest way of reaching me is my through my WhatsApp. But yeah, if it is overwhelmed, that's gonna go crazy. So I would say let's limit it to LinkedIn. And if there is something serious discussion, let's take it on WhatsApp. And obviously, if you would like to support me, can I say that? Come to my YouTube channel and say a hi as well. I'm doing a lot of webinars this weekend also. And so there you go. All the links are here. youtube.com/Praveen Science. Praveen.science is my website. And linkedin.com/in/Praveen Tech is my LinkedIn thing. So these three is enough for now. So with that three things, you can actually find out the whole history of me. So yep. Uh, that's about me. And GitHub is also Praveen Science. You can find the Hacktoberfest project ideas. Someone actually mentioned it
Mhm.
in the comments, but I don't know whether it will be available. So if you go to github.com/Praveen Science, you will be finding the Hacktoberfest topic added repository. So you can go ahead and give the pull request. I'll try to approve almost all the pull requests, but just trying to help people who are like extremely new to Hacktoberfest and Git and GitHub. So there should be a fair way of getting people to come in. So that is the reason I have created this repository. It is not against the rules of Hacktoberfest, but I'm trying to make sure all the quality pull requests are approved. So
All right.
don't worry about that.
That's amazing, and that's so sweet of you, ma'am. That's really great. So, guys, if you want to get mentored by Praveen itself, so Praveen teaches at GeeksforGeeks the full stack development course. If you have any queries, I have shared the link of the form. You can fill it up. Our team will get back to you, and hopefully, we'll see you soon. Thank you very much, Praveen, for joining us.
And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Geeks for Geeks and my channel as well.
Yep. So guys, if you have some of your friends who have not who missed this session, you can just share the video link. This video will be available on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So that's all. Thank you very much, Praveen, for your time, and thank you, audience. Have a great day. All right. Goodbye.